Welcome back to Biz Talks. My name is Rick Gutierrez, and I am your host and your business advocate. Just a little while ago, we were talking to John Mitchell with Cantrell & Cantrell, tax attorney, and now we've got another expert, and we're going to be talking about something that relates to taxes, but more on the front end of taxes. And we've got an amazing expert that knows everything about bookkeeping, and that is Miss Nora. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, Rick. Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure. It's always a great time when you are on the show because we get to learn so much from you and all of our audience as well. And so we just want to continue that conversation because of your extended, experience within the bookkeeping world. You help lots of nonprofits, but as well as, for-profit businesses. So what do you say we get started in this conversation?
Yep, let's go.
All right, fantastic. So there's been lots of uncertainties in the economic world, and you as an expert in the financial world, what financial strategies do you recommend for nonprofit organizations so that they can ensure and they can remain resilient and continue to thrive despite the potential funding challenges?
The first thing for nonprofits to change their mindsets because their business is actually recession proof, everything proof. Like there is nothing can affect a nonprofit financials if it's established correctly, if the mindset of the people who running the nonprofit is in the right mindset. If they know that nothing is going to affect them. So first of all, I would say never rely on one funder. So a lot of organizations start their organization because they know there's funding over there for circumstances they have for the cause or for their mission. So they start the organization. It's kind of easy to get the funding when there's a lot of funding, but they rely on those funders. Now, this is occasional because if something is a hot topic, now there are financials for that. There are funding for that. But if it goes off topic and it's not hot anymore, there's less funding for it. So the resort for all nonprofits is to really find their ideal donors. That's the number one. That's their cash flow. And then, of course, maintain their bookkeeping, maintain their budget, make sure they have all the financials in order. So I really recommend that they get into that spot where they can where they can afford to hire a fractional CFO, which we do have in Nourasbooks if anyone interested into getting into this service with us. But the first thing to have is really finding their ideal donors, make sure they're doing the bookkeeping because this is a compliance work, and that's what can guarantee them as recession proof no matter what.
Absolutely. And I think one of those things that you mentioned that at the very beginning, you mentioned it's a mindset that we need to take, and take serious because if we don't have the right mindset, I mean, any business could, end up failing. But a nonprofit, not just because they're a nonprofit means that they're not a business. They are a business and they need to conduct as such, right? So thank you for elaborating on that. I know that over there at Nourasbooks, you guys have integrated advanced technologies in your accounting services. Can you discuss a little bit on how the data analytics and AI are transforming the way that you provide insights to your clients?
So yeah, one thing I want to emphasize here is really any tool that we have, it's as good as the person behind it. So what first step we make sure here at Nourasbooks, we hire and we work with great professionals. Like our team is really aligned with our value, like the service we want to provide for our clients. So we actually review our core value every single morning, every meeting we have to make sure like everything we do aligned with this value. Any tool that we have in AI and programming and any software that we're using, we actually make sure we have it aligned with our value, not we aligned with them. So we don't rely 100% on technology, on AI. We actually make sure we utilize them into our like to be aligned with our value, to make sure they save us time, they save our clients money and time, and to make sure we actually get them the best results. But always there are people behind it. So because a lot of people think, okay, now we can do this without a professional, like whether if it's a lawyer or marketing expert or an accountant. No, you cannot, because you don't know the foundation. So you have to actually be able to understand and read data. Like if you want to go do your taxes on your own, you're gonna lose a lot of money. You're gonna probably mess up a lot of stuff because you don't understand tax language. Same thing with technology. If you do not understand the language of technology, how to use it to deliver a certain results, you're not going to be able to do it. So we make sure here, like we discuss, we have like our meetings still, we have our brainstorming to experts like in accounting field and CFO people level people to think and to actually make sure we apply all technologies based on the client needs, whether it's like a small business owner, nonprofit organization, no matter what level they are in, we want to make sure we actually utilizing the tools we have to meet their goals.
Absolutely. And one of the things that you mentioned is the software is as good as the people behind it. I can't stress that enough because it's true. You can have an amazing software, but if the people running it are not really completely 100% trained on how to run and get the best benefit of that software, it's going to be a challenge, for everyone. So I can honestly tell you that when I've had challenges, and I call the IT department, most of the times they tell me that there is a bad connection between the chair and the keyboard. What I mean is that's basically me, the one that I'm not knowing exactly what I'm doing. So it happens a lot, and it happens to a lot of us, but that is the reason why we hire experts like Nora to help us out. So Nora, you've got an extensive experience in developing and implementing managerial financial strategies for both the corporate and the nonprofit sectors. Can you share a recent example where a strategic financial plan you developed led to a significant growth or stability for that client?
Sure. So a recent thing, like actually one of my clients almost closed her business last year because she had some circumstances. She kind of abandoned her business like for 6 months. So when she came back, she was almost like giving up, almost closing her business. And she has been a client, so we were like, okay, hold on. Let's look into things. We can help you. She was just like a bookkeeping client. We did not help her in the CFO service before. But I told her, okay, let's hold off on this. Let's just like take it on another level and let's strategize for this and see if it's possible to continue. And we developed a plan. We worked hand on hand with the client with this plan. And she started the year 2024 with already a contract for 50K before she started the year to implement throughout the year. And now she's in progress, like getting more clients and increasing her funding or not funding because she's not a nonprofit. So her business survived. She did great because no matter what we do, no matter how good the strategy we implement or we put in place, if the client does not actually implement the strategy, if they do not work with us in order to implement the strategy and make sure everything happens, we're not going to be able to help them. So she did great, and now she has a thriving business. She's actually surviving and thriving, and I'm sure she's going to end the year with at least six-figure, keeping in mind she was in loss and almost closing her business last year.
Yeah, and that happens quite often, right? We hear story after story about that happening. But the good thing about your client that you just showcased is that what we talked about earlier, the mindset. She had the right mindset to want to succeed, to want to do things right, and hire the right people that are going to basically show her the way and, walk with her along the way and put in some processes and systems to help her thrive. And so that's amazing that you guys do that. Is that something that you see often out there in the world where a business is about to close, or is that, far in between?
So the challenge, like the statistic where the businesses do not surpass 5 years because of the cash flow. So this is very common. A lot of people close in the year one. A lot of them closed year two, three, four, five, like rarely they pass that just because of the mindset and a lot of challenges like for business owners, mainly with the cash flow. That's why actually, we started a cash flow mastermind for business owners. We're gonna have this coming on actually this Thursday, which is going to be I think the 20th. We will have a cash flow masterclass coming up, and because this is very common, a lot of people are near to give up, but if they just like give up and okay, I don't want to do it anymore, well, it's gone. But if they want to succeed, we have the tools in place to help them succeed. I had started this actually masterclass just to help business owners rethink things before it comes, because it's a lot of challenge. It's a challenge to start a business. A lot of people tell you, okay, you have to start a business, you be your own boss, you will do great, you don't leave your 9 to 5. They don't know they're gonna leave their 9 to 5 to 9 to 9 or maybe more, just because this is what's required from the business owner in the beginning. Until you set a business as a system in place, until you hire the right people and put it in autopilot, you're gonna need to work a lot and learn from the best, from people who did this before you did, so you can actually succeed. So that's why we
Right.
have this master class actually coming up on the 20th of June for business owners who want to succeed.
Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. And I think it's a fantastic thing. I think it's just, having the right mindset and being open to growth. And that's the reason why Noura puts on these master classes, so that people can come in here, business owners, expand their knowledge a little bit more and be successful. Noura, it's always a blast to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being here this week.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here with you.
Likewise. All right, folks, that's it for that segment. We're going to be right back with another expert. Stay right there. We'll be right back.